Hey guys, my name is Nick and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Season 2 of Sex Education, the surprise hit on Netflix from last year that made so much noise it was basically spoiled for me before I could even get around to binging it. But once I did, I still loved it! So anyone who is not in the know, let me sell you on this show. It takes place in modern day England at a high school where we follow socially awkward Otis, who does not have the skills himself, but he is the son of a sex counselor played by the amazing Gillian Anderson, and he takes the wisdom that she imparts on her clients and he spreads it around the school to anyone who needs the help. Now, the show focuses on Otis and his gay best friend Eric as they set up this advice-giving service with the help of the badass Maeve. She is the chick from the trailer park who is just too cool for school, and naturally, because this is a teenager show, Otis and Maeve end up totally in love, but they can never be together because it's a teenager show, and because they're in love, they can never be together. Season 1 focused on these characters sort of setting up this business of sorts, and Season 2 branches out by exploring so many different characters in this school. So much so that you could say that this show kind of spreads itself thin, and that it does take on so many different topics that the arcs for our main three characters are a little drawn out. You probably could have done this in about half of the episodes. But I think that it was a good idea to go with these full, near hour-long 8 episodes because each single one takes on a new different student that Otis and friends are helping with whatever different kind of sexual identity problem that they have. Whether you have a character who does not even want to have sex, or a character is learning about different kinds of sex, this totally is sex ed. You probably had a show like either Degrassi or Skins, something when you were a teenager that totally just hit you in the feels, it connected with you personally, and I have to say, Sex Education is the show that I wish I had when I was 17. This show explores the many different types of sexuality in such a raw and frank, honest way that I genuinely think this is the kind of sexual education that people actually need. Alright, now we've got a lot going on in Season 2, so let me try and break it down for you. So now at the end of Season 1, Eric ended up hooking up with the bully who was tormenting his ass for years, the asshole Adam. They ended up kissing, and Eric was all, okay, cool, let's make this a thing. But then Adam got sent to military school, thankfully, but whatever. So now, in Season 2, Eric finds himself a new man, and they have this nice and healthy relationship. But then Adam has to come back from military school to make things all toxic and awful again. So I'm going to get into that a little bit more later. But also, let's talk about Otis, because he couldn't get it together with Maeve because, you know, he's kind of a little bitch. So he's now dating this other chick, Ola, and he has a whole new slew of problems to deal with her, as well as all of the students that he is helping, and, you know, just drama with other friends and family. But now let's talk about Maeve, because Maeve is the best. She is my favorite character, of course, and she is the one who has so much going on in her actual life. All of the sex ed stuff, that's like a distraction for her because she is an absentee, drug-using mother. She is taking care of her toddler sibling. It's oh so sad, it's so much, but it's done so right where you don't feel like, oh wow, look at her. She's got like, you know, just a dump truck of problems unloaded on her every day. She handles everything with such earnestness that you just can't not like Maeve. Just try and not like her, okay? But she didn't get things together with her jockman Jackson, so now she's kind of just hanging around, living life, but she ends up forming a friendship of sorts with a neighbor of hers who happens to be disabled, and some sketchy stuff goes down. But I will let you discover that all on your own and form your own opinions, because you know what? I'm just not going to get into it. I'm just not going to get into it. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'll tease it. Now you gotta watch. You gotta watch to find out. That's how this works. What I love about sex ed the most is just the way that it weaves those dramatic elements into the character work, and it still manages to be funny, and it never feels to me like it's preachy, or it's in your face, or that it's just trying to handle these different types of stories and like diversity and such for the sake of it. Like, I actually thought there was one episode, I think it's episode 6 or so, there's a storyline that focuses on gay sex in a way that I'm like, damn, I don't even see this in like adult television shows. That's why I think this show is just so honest and real, and I can't help but love it for that. I'm giving season 2 of Sex Education a 4 out of 5. I do think that the show is a little bit overlong and a tad stretched out, and they maybe could have reeled it in a little bit more. However, I also loved it. I have some issues with the show, but I am going to get into some spoiler talk. I thought I would do a second video on this, but I'm just going to do this here. So, if you have not watched season 2 of Sex Education, so highly recommend it. It's just so good, guys. It's just so good. But I have some stuff to talk about, so feel free to get out of here if you want to go watch this. Or if you already have, I have a bit of a rant. It's just a little bit of a gay rant, so let me do that. Now, I already broke down the dynamic between Adam and Eric, right? From season 1 to season 2. And, you know, it's good and fine and all, but here is my problem with it. It's that Adam and Eric have a very toxic relationship. Adam was a bully to Eric because he, of course, did not know how to deal with his feelings because he's a typical little man bitch. And Eric, of course, is like in love with him because Adam is this quintessential masculine, white, hunky guy that pretty much, not even just gay men, but like even straight women are like meant to believe this is the type of guy that you should want. This is the one. This is the only type of guy that should matter. And Eric starts dating this other guy who is really good to him. They have this really honest and open relationship that I thought was one of the best relationships that I've seen in like any show in a while, and that is just scrapped. In the last episode, Eric is performing at this school musical, and Adam shows up, and he's all, I want to hold your hand and be like publicly into you, and what a big deal this is. And that should have been Eric's moment to say, you know what? You missed out on this. You missed out on it because you were a fucking asshole. And instead, he jumps right back into his arms, and you know what? This show could be going down the path of showing what, you know, an idiot Eric is for doing that. They could get into that, but my problem with this overall is just that the show seems to be saying, no, Adam and Eric are supposed to be together. This is how it is supposed to be. And that is really shitty to me. I find that really shitty because, again, he already had a good, healthy relationship. And one of the things that I think proves my point is that the character of Eric's mother is like, I don't like this new boyfriend of yours, get rid of him. But then Adam shows up out of nowhere, and without the context of like, you know, him like bullying her son forever, she's all like, oh my god, come over for dinner, you're amazing, I love you. And it's like, why? What about him would she love for her son? It's really disappointing to me. I just feel like the show is kind of coming at this from the wrong angle, and they just completely, you know, it's just such a bummer. It's a bummer because I feel like we don't get to see good, healthy, solid gay relationships in television and film. We just don't get to. It constantly has to be, nope, you need to get hate crimed or screwed over. Like, you just can't have actual love. And that's really disappointing. It's really disappointing, especially when you see it play out, and it's like the show is already doing it. And it's like, you couldn't just let these two be like that one solid couple that's actually together throughout most of the seasons. Like, we couldn't do that. That's it. That's the end of my rant. I'm done. But thank you so much for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it. Hit me up in the comments and let me know what you thought of this season. Like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. If you have not subscribed, you're missing out on like extra notifications. I mean, you know you want extra notifications. Thanks again, and I'll see you in my next video.